Hi. Hi, hello, and welcome to my true crime live stream this week. If you're here as a returning viewer, hi, thank you so much for tuning in as always. And if you're a new viewer, hey, hello, I'm FEARSONA, or you can call me Fear or Sona, whichever you like. So again, thank you so much for giving my channel a shot and tuning in for today's case. You guys can let me know if my microphone is, loud enough, if the music is like not too loud, as always. So hi. Okay, so some of you might have figured out what am I gonna talk about today. I mean, obviously from the title that I've posted, but I was talking about, discussing a case that is very much ongoing. And it's, this case has taken over the internet and the news, both in the US and around the world within a span of days, or even a day, and has since been followed by millions and millions of people. It's been like discussed all over, from every angle, and so many people just followed, like me included. I followed the events. How is it gonna turn out, and like what the conclusion is gonna be. So today's case is the case of Gabby Petito. You guys may have already heard this name, and it wouldn't be surprising because from mid-September, media were pretty much bustling with daily updates on the disappearance of a young girl in her 20s from New York, and it quickly became abundantly clear that the circumstances surrounding this case are just extremely strange and odd. So Gabby Petito's disappearance is not only a personal tragedy, but also an incident that captivated the internet and sparked a debate on the inequality of news media coverage of missing persons. It quickly kind of reignited the so-called, quote unquote, missing white woman syndrome, which was and still is a problem when it comes to media coverage and attention focus in such cases, because we actually see a huge disparity in how media covers like missing persons case of if the missing person is a person of color or any other race than white, which obviously is not fair, because like actually in 2020 the US reported that out of 89,000 missing persons cases, 45% were actually people of color, and it's just like, it's very clear that it's not fair. Like usually the media you don't see that much coverage on those cases, and it's like, the question actually frequently appeared in this case, in this particular situation, whether Gabby's case helped draw attention to other cases, or did it just basically overshadow several other stories in the mass media because they caught on this particular story because it fits I don't want to say popular, but like, yeah, kind of popular pattern. And it just quickly became the front line of any news report. Meanwhile, other cases were ignored or, that just pushed into the backseat, basically. I personally want to believe that Gabby's case will actually work as a catalyst for other such cases. We've already seen a couple of them just, come up right beside Gabby's case. And I really hope that those cases are gonna be a catalyst. What's that name again? Gabby Petito. I'm gonna, obviously I'm gonna I'm gonna switch to my murder board and you guys are gonna see the name. Hi. Hi, hello, King of Magica. Hi, thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, and Vanessa. It's very touchy subject, but it's true. Yeah, it's very true. Like obviously it is sad that some of the cases definitely it happened. Like that's true. It happened that some of the cases just got pushed into the, into the corner, and Gabby's case just took the front line. But I do hope, like I've seen quite a few cases that actually followed, like always followed the Gabby Petito like news. Whenever like Gabby's case is discussed, like immediately they just transition to those cases. So I do want to like strongly believe that media is trying to kind of shift from that, the kind of unfair pattern, and they are trying to actually bring attention to other cases. So I'm really hopeful that this is gonna be a catalyst. And although yes, today I do want to go over this particular case because it is still very much ongoing, and it just transitioned into a full-on manhunt. I will also talk about other cases that deserve to be looked into immediately and deserve answers. So bear with me for just a little bit here when I'm discussing Gabby's case, because at the end, I'm also gonna, bring attention to a couple of other cases that are, happened very close to when Gabby's case was happening, and they are still very much unsolved, and we are hoping for the best outcome. I'm hoping for the best outcome. Okay, so let me switch to my murder board. Okay. So here we go. Let me just switch to my, okay. Yeah, so I'd like to go through the complete timeline of events leading up to Gabby's disappearance and, unfortunate death, because some of you might have already seen the updates. No, media people are pricks. Trust the guy who studied it. I know, most of the time, yes, that's unfortunately true. But I do wanna, I do still wanna believe that it's gonna shift, at one point. It's gonna take time, but I do hope it's gonna shift. Okay, so bear in mind that updates about this case are being made daily. So by the time this stream is done, it is possible there might be a major shift in the case. There might be a huge update, which I won't cover for obvious reasons, because I'm just talking about it now, and there might be like an update right when I'm talking about it to you guys. So again, this is the case of Gabby Petito. Gabrielle Petito, originally from Blue Point, New York, met her future boyfriend and fiance, Brian Laundrie, in high school when they were both attending the same high school on Long Island, New York. They began dating back in March 2019. Okay, wait, let me let me just kind of make the music a little bit lower. Okay, so they began dating back in March 2019 and soon moved in together with Brian's family in Northport, Florida. So this is where, this is the map. Blue Point obviously is in New York, and they moved all the way to Florida. So Gabby used to work as a pharmacy technician and nutritionist with plans to save up for a cross-country trip in a camper slash van along with Brian, a trip she would never come back from. So now, after both Petito and Laundrie attended the graduation ceremony, okay. So this was actually the original plan for their for the trip. And basically what happened was, after Brian and Gabby attended the graduation ceremony of Gabby's brother on June 17th, back in Blue Point, they decided to depart on their cross-country trip from Blue Point on July 2nd, 2021, in Gabby's white 2012, So that's on June 17th, they attended the graduation ceremony, and then on July 2nd, they departed in Gabby's van on their cross-country trip. So the plan was clear: travel to the West Coast, visit state and national parks across the Western US. It is notable to mention that Gabby just quit her full-time job and made a leap of faith to to start her own travel blog and a YouTube channel, which is called Nomadic Static, where she wanted to document her adventures. She was extremely excited to share the journey across the her social media, as well as with her family and friends. And the police later stated, quote, she maintained regular contact with her family members during her travels. However, that communication abruptly stopped around the end of August, end quote. Oh, okay, thank you so much for following. Nether Strike, thank you so much for following. Okay, so later we get to September 11th. I'm gonna jump over to September 11th because, you know, September rolls in and Gabby and Brian were still very much on, you know, like on their trip across the country. It's, you know, it's a long way to go, and they were planning to spend like weeks, months on the road. And then September rolls in and Gabby's family becomes seriously worried. They've been trying to reach Gabby for nearly 2 weeks after her last text to them on August 30th, which read, quote, no service in Yosemite, end quote. Gabby's mom became very suspicious. She raised worries that this text might have not even been sent by her daughter at all. And I'm gonna explain why she had those suspicions. There were just other little signs that something was just off about her. But I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later. And not only that, but as Gabby's parents grew more and more concerned about their daughter's silence and lack of any contact and absence of any updates on her social media regarding the trip, they also tried repeatedly contacting Brian and then Brian's family. But nothing. Messages and calls were left unanswered. And eventually Gabby's dad says, okay, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna go over there, down to Florida, to get some answers. Maybe they know something. Like, what happened to them? Why are they not calling us? Why are they not updating, you know, Gabby's profiles, Gabby's Instagram, whatever? Like, we don't have any updates, anything, any information on where are they right now. So he goes, he gets there and gets to Brian's parents' house. And you know what they tell him? Oh, Brian? He's been home since September 1st, but Gabby is not here. And that's it. That's all they told him, and basically sent him away. So he is standing there. He was expecting that they would tell them, I don't know, like, oh, you know, they decided to maybe stay in Yosemite for a longer time, and there's just no service, and you know, they're gonna let us know, or they let us know that, you know, they're gonna be out of touch for a little while. No, the family of Brian's, they actually tell him that Brian was home for the past 2 weeks and without Gabby. So Gabby's father is like very upset. He's definitely confused. He's worried sick. He doesn't know where his daughter is. Why is her fiance, her boyfriend, her fiance, he is at home with the car, with the van, and then Gabby's not there. So on September 11th, Gabby's parents report their daughter as missing, and from then on, the story of what led to her disappearance unravels. So on August 24th, that was the last time Gabby's mother had a FaceTime with Gabby, where Petito said that they left Salt Lake City for Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry if I mispronounce the titles, the names of states. So August 24th is the last time that Gabby's parents saw her on the phone, safe and sound. And then Gabby Petito's final Instagram post was uploaded on on August 25th, which, interestingly enough, unlike her previous posts, didn't have a location on it. So, you know, the parents didn't know where exactly they were. Later on, it was discovered, like it was by the, I don't know, the wall behind her in that photo. People did figure out that she is in Utah, in that picture at least. I think the city was called Ogden. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, Ogden, Utah. And that was 40 miles away from Salt Lake City. And then on August 27th, a message was sent from Petito's phone to her mom that said, quote, "Can you help Stan? I keep getting can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." End quote. And that exact message is what raised her mother's concerns, because Stan is Gabby's grandfather, but she never referred to him by his first name. It was strange seeing her do that. And but again, at this point, there wasn't like any serious reason to suspect that anything bad happened to Gabby. It was just this weird feeling, like it just rubbed Gabby's mom the wrong way. She was like, why would she call her grandpa Stan? Like, she never does that. But then again, oh, maybe she's on the, you know, she's in a rush. She just didn't think much of it and she just sent it in a rush. But that message later kind of, prompted the mom to believe that this message wasn't from Gabby, and the next message that came on August 30th was also not from Gabby. Was she running away or just making up a story for her family? Well, she wasn't. She was very excited about her like travel blog, and she just wanted to travel. That's it. Like, she just wanted to travel. There was no indication that she's gonna like run away. She wanted to run away. She just wanted to make her website, her YouTube channel work. So the family didn't see anything out of the ordinary about that, like about her behavior or any indication that she would want to like disappear or just run away from them. But okay, let's proceed. Let's go further. So on August 12th, sorry, let me just switch these off. So on August 12th, two police officers pull over a white Ford van in Moab, Utah. The reason for it was that the driver was speeding and at one point was driving erratically, even hitting a curb on the side of the road. The officers soon interviewed a man and a woman who were riding in a van, who turned out to be Gabby and Brian, and everything is recorded on one of the officers' body cam. I won't play the footage here, but I will put it in the comments. I'll put the link in the comments below for you guys to just watch it if you're interested, because the footage is like an hour long. I think it's like more than an hour long. So, if you guys are interested in the case, you can just watch the footage. So at the beginning of the footage, the officer pulls the couple over and walks up to the van. He sees the woman, Gabby, in the passenger seat, and she is crying, visibly distressed. The officer is reassuring them that everything is fine, but he would like to talk to Gabby first, so he tells her to step out of the van and go with him to the police vehicle to just put a little bit of a distance between her and Brian and the van. So Gabby, still in tears, explains to the officer that she is in this state due to her OCD, that she was just trying to clean something in the car, that she was also apologizing to Brian for sometimes coming out as mean or frustrated with him. She also talks about her career and how she just quit her job and her plans with her blog. It's important to note that she then says, quote, "He doesn't really believe that I can do any of it," end quote. This case reminds me of the incident with the Watts fam. Oh yeah, like the Chris. Yeah, definitely. Like Chris Watts. Yeah, that was a terrible case, and I don't want to remember that one. But yeah, it was definitely a terrible case, and you know, he ended where he ended, and I think that's a good thing, that he's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life. Okay, so as I said, like, she, in this conversation with the officer, she does tell him, you know, I started my website, I'm trying to build my website, I'm trying to build my presence on social media by, you know, like, making this travel blog, but my partner doesn't support me, like, he doesn't really believe in me. And she also said that they've been fighting all morning, and at some point he wouldn't even let her in the car, telling her to calm down. Interestingly enough, an audio recording from a 911 call was provided by the Grand County Sheriff's Office, where a caller says they encountered a possible domestic abuse incident between a couple next to a white van with Florida license plate. And the caller said, quote, "Then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off." End quote. Throughout the conversation with both Gabby and Brian separately, the officer notices scratch marks on Brian's face and neck, and it soon comes out that the couple's earlier argument got a little bit physical. So according to Brian, during the argument, Brian wanted to take Gabby's phone away. He wanted her to take a breath before they go anywhere, telling her to just take a walk, you know, calm down, and then they will proceed with their trip. And it escalated to Gabby being afraid that Brian is gonna leave her stranded there and alone. Then it became physical, with Brian trying to push Gabby away from him when Gabby was like slapping him or scratching him and trying to take her phone back. At that point, the officers suggested that the couple should stay separately for the night, and in his report, Officer Daniel Robbins wrote, quote, "After evaluating the totality of the circumstances, I do not believe the situation escalated to the level of a domestic assault, as much as that of a mental health crisis." End quote. And by the way, when I was watching this footage, at one point the officers kind of step away from the couple. Like, there are two or three officers, and they step away from the couple. And one of the officers, I think he's a senior officer, and he talks to the other officer who maybe was being trained in these kind of situations. Like, maybe he's just like younger, maybe he's just started working, and he's being trained. And the senior officer tells him, okay, like, what do you think we should do here? How do you see this situation? And if you don't see it as a domestic abuse, like assault, and you don't want to take them in, then you have to be okay with not taking them in, with letting them go. Because whatever happens next, you know, you have to be okay with the fact that you didn't take them in. So the junior officer, or you know, the training officer, the second officer says, okay, yes, I am okay with that. I think it is a mental health issue. What are your thoughts on the police finding van with remains that were supposedly Gabby? I'm gonna get to that, but you know, obviously I think they were determined to be Gabby already. Like, it was you know, the human remains were actually identified to be Gabby. But I'm gonna get to that, and that's an unfortunate turn of events. Obviously, like, you know, no one wants to know that the person you've been searching for all this time, you know, is dead. So that's, you know, I think everyone was hoping that she was just, you know, she just separated from Brian, and she is alive. But we all know, well, I mean, some of us know that that's not what happened. And that's why this case just got extremely, like, strange and complicated at the very end. And that's how it is right now. So I'm gonna get to that. So as I said, the officers did not take them in. They decided to let them go with just a warning, just writing this down as a mental health crisis. And then the witness also added in their statement that Petito was talking aggressively and like from the previous 911 call, that witness actually said that Gabby was actually getting aggressive at that point, like in the morning argument that they witnessed. And she was, quote, punching him, so Brian, in the arm. It also looked like Laundrie was trying to leave Petito and take her phone with him before Gabby climbed back into the van. So that's how it ended. So that actually matches what essentially, like, they were saying Brian was talking about it, that he was actually trying to push her away, like she was actually scratching him. And the domestic assault was actually, the charge was, like, the charges were supposed to be for Gabby. So basically she was the abuser in that situation. But as we know, like, that didn't happen. In the end, they let them go and no charges were filed that day. And then we jump ahead to August 27th. A witness stated that between 1 and 2 p.m., she saw Brian and Gabby together at a restaurant called the Merry Piglets in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Sorry, I can't... Am I pronouncing this correctly, Wyoming? Sorry if it's like a little bit weird, but that's how I pronounce it. So the witness says that she saw Gabby and Brian at that restaurant in Jackson Hole. She then says that Brian Laundrie had a heated argument with the manager, waitress, and hostess of the restaurant, apparently about money, and he was getting visibly aggressive. Gabby later returned to the restaurant to apologize for her boyfriend's behavior, and this was also confirmed by the restaurant on their Instagram page that yes, Gabby and Brian were there that day and this incident happened. Moab police is catching hell for this one. Yeah, I mean, not surprisingly, it was a bad call. I have to say, in this situation, it was a bad call. I think I would have, I'm most likely seeing how the woman was distressed, seeing how they were even driving the way they were, like erratically. At one point in that footage, like Brian also claims that Gabby actually pulled the steering, like the wheel, so that caused him to, like, the car to kind of jump and hit the curb. So it was getting kind of out of hand. It was getting aggressive in the car during the drive, which is obviously not safe. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that oh wait, okay, Wyoming. Okay, Wyoming. I'm sorry, I'm not pronouncing it well. Oh, you pronounced it right. Okay. I mean, how come I've never heard of this? The UK has had no mention of this. I don't know, like I've seen it like all over the place. I've seen it on social media, I've seen it on, Reddit, on the news, like all the time. But maybe, like maybe you just missed it. Like, it's possible. Maybe not, like obviously not everywhere is it gonna be reported. But okay, so as I said, so in that time slot, so August 27th, Gabby and Brian were at the restaurant. There was an incident where Brian was getting, more and more aggressive during the fight, or during the argument with the manager, with the waitress, and the hostess. And then that same day, Kyle and Jen Bethune, I think, Bethune, or Bethune, who own a YouTube channel called Red, White, and Bethune, I think. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. Kyle and Jen caught a white Ford van on their dashcam in the Spread Creek dispersed camping area on Bridger Teton National Forest, in the area of Bridger Teton National Forest in Wyoming. Kyle and Jen say they saw the van around 6 p.m. that day, and then they saw it again on their way back later that night. And notably, when they were driving past the van, its back door shut abruptly as they got closer. And another witness even called up the FBI and reported that she saw a slow-moving white van and a man, quote, acting weird, near the same exact location in the Teton National Forest on August 26th, 27th, and 28th. She posted a TikTok video with her observations, and it was later confirmed that her tip was what led the FBI agents to Gabby's body and to the location of the van. Oh, nice. Okay, thank you so much for following. Wait, Weeaboo Shu. Weeaboo Shu. Okay, thank you so much for following. Why is it that in some murder cases police are really incompetent? I mean, see, yes, some of those incidents, yeah, definitely police is quite incompetent. Like, you know, it happens that the police is incompetent. Some of them. Wow. Okay. We got some new subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much again. But in a lot of cases, honestly, like, they just don't see it as something I don't know, like, they just don't think that it's gonna escalate to that point, I think. What is happening? Why? Okay, so where was I? Okay, so as I said, this tip kind of led the tip about the, you know, like, seeing the white van and seeing the man near the van just acting weird, is what led the FBI to Gabby's body in the end. And then another video was uploaded to TikTok on where a woman named Miranda Baker reported that she and her boyfriend picked up a lone hitchhiker near Coulter Bay Village. She said it was Brian Laundrie, and that was later confirmed that yes, this is a valid tip. Again, he was alone, no Gabby in sight. He even offered them $200 for the 10-mile ride, so it's approximately 16 kilometers. That's not a long ride. He was rather chatty, didn't appear to be nervous at first. He claimed that he had been camping for days but seemed very clean, which actually would be unusual if you're in the wilderness for a couple of days and you're camping. Then something shifted in him. So the moment Brian heard that Miranda and her partner were driving to Jackson Hole, so a valley between Ventura and Teton mountain ranges, instead of directly to Jackson, so a town in Jackson Hole, he freaked out. And that's in quotations. So he freaked out and then asked to be let out of the vehicle immediately. Then he got off at Jackson Lake Dam, which was, like, to Miranda, that was weird. She's like, okay, why? Like, I told you, we told him that we're gonna drive to Jackson and like to Jackson Hole, and that's, I mean, you know, like, that is, like, Jackson is in Jackson Hole, so I don't understand why he freaked out. But then, you know, like, he possibly, I don't know, I honestly don't know what the reason was why he freaked out. That it was not the, I guess but because maybe he thought, okay, they are actually driving to the valley, they're not driving to Jackson directly to the town, like, we might come across the white van, which we know later, like, that's where Gabby's body was found. So, you know, possibly, I mean, most likely that's why he actually freaked out. And then another woman, Norma Jean, Jalovic, I'm not sure how to also pronounce this name, but claimed that on August 29th, she again picked up Brian Laundrie, who was hitchhiking alone, and gave him a ride back to Spread Creek Dispersed Camping Area. And again, no Gabby in sight. I live in Utah. Utah is very special, to put it nicely. Okay. I mean, I've never been, so I don't know exactly what do you mean, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff going on there, and you know, there's I don't know, like people, I don't know, like you know, I mean, people have opinions about area. I can't have an opinion about Utah because I've never been, so obviously I believe you. So then, you know, on September 16th, then we jump ahead, you know, like to September, after Gabby was reported missing by her parents. And as I said before, Brian turned out to have returned home on September 1st, but neither him nor his family contacted Gabby's parents about the fact that their daughter did not return with him and was basically MIA. I looked up Miranda's TikTok, and all the comments are saying that her hitchhiking story doesn't add up. Also, supposedly Gabby's mother said that she doesn't believe Miranda. So I'm not sure which tip was actually confirmed by the FBI. I think Miranda was actually allowed to, like, she first showed the video to the authorities before actually posting on TikTok. So I read in one of the articles that actually she showed the video to the authorities and to confirm that it's actually valid, and then she was allowed to post it on TikTok. Like, you know, they gave her a green light to post it on TikTok. But then again, you know, my source might be wrong. So yeah, if the mother doesn't believe Miranda, then maybe that's just not true. Maybe it wasn't true that, you know, the story that she picked up Brian. But as I said, the other tip actually did lead, you know, FBI to Gabby's body. So I don't know, maybe, I mean, it is actually, you know, like, at least it is pretty certain that he was near that site on August 26th, between August 26th and 28th. I don't know about, you know, we don't know for sure about 29th. Obviously, that's, as I said, that's a tip from a person, and I at least I read that it was confirmed by the authorities, that it was like okayed by the authorities. But again, I might be wrong. You know, the source might have been wrong. We can never be sure with media, because they also, like, you know, put up a story sometimes without checking everything. Could be worse, a half truth. Maybe, yeah. Like, as I said, like, you know, at least from what I was reading, like, this seemed to be a valid tip. But again, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Then that's just one of the tips. But at least another one did lead the FBI to, you know, actually finding Gabby. So as I said, again, September 16th, Gabby is reported missing, and then like, the silence didn't break after Gabby Petito was officially reported missing. The Laundrie family refused to speak with the police. They basically just gave them their attorneys, their lawyer's number, and they just told them, okay, yeah, just, you know, contact our attorney. That's it. We're not gonna say anything, which is not suspicious at all, mind you. Like, totally not. You're not making yourself suspicious at all. That you don't want to talk, you don't want to, like, say anything. Okay, to be fair, like, yeah, there is this whole, you know, whatever you say might be used against you. So I get why they would be scared, especially since their son is involved. But I don't know, like, I can't put myself in this situation. I don't want to put myself in this situation as a parent of someone who is, like, you know, returned without his fiance and doesn't want to tell me where the fiance is, and is just, like, all over suspicious. But I would like to believe that I would probably talk. I would report it to the police. But then again, you don't know what you're gonna do. Like, what would you do? How would you behave in this situation? Okay, so Gabby's parents tried everything, tried pleading with them in a desperate letter to help the investigation with any piece of information they might have about Gabby. And in this letter, they wrote, quote, "Please, if you or your family have any decency left, please tell us where Gabby is located. Tell us if we are even looking in the right place. All we want is for Gabby to come home. Please help us make that happen." End quote. End quote. But still, the Laundries, like the Laundrie family, refused. They gave no answers. And then on September 17th, there is a shift in the case. The Laundrie family calls up the police and asks them to come up to their home. But it wasn't because the family decided to help with the investigation. No, it was because their son Brian haven't been seen since September 14th, and they wanted to report him missing. And again, not suspicious at all. You're not making this better for yourself. Like, at least Brian is not making this better for himself. Apparently, he just, on September 14th, he just picked up his backpack. He left his phone, he left his wallet. He just picked up his backpack and he just left. He just went out, and they didn't think anything of it, but then he's missing for like 3 days straight, no contact. And then they report him missing. And so a search for the 23-year-old Brian Laundrie kicks off. However, at this point, he is not named as suspect, only a person of interest and a missing person officially. The Laundrie family is sus, very sus. They are. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's just not, it just doesn't look good, you know, like it just, their behavior, Brian's behavior, it just doesn't look good. Because just talk, you know, like I get it. I mean, no, I'm sorry, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. I've never been in this kind of situation, but I can't imagine the pressure. Maybe he panicked. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe he just panicked and the family just wanted to protect one of their own. So then later, on September 18th, the search for Brian expands at the Carlton Reserve in Florida, an area of more than 80 miles. According to the FBI, Laundrie has an, quote, enormous amount of pressure, end quote, on him to provide answers in Petito's case, and that might have prompted him to be on the run. As I said before, like, I can't imagine what kind of pressure he's under. And yeah, it's no wonder, like, sometimes it's no wonder that you would just, you know, kind of push yourself to desperate measures if you just panic and your mind is just not logical, like you're not using logic at this point. I'll leave. Sassy Baka. I'll leave now. No, please don't leave, you can stay, I allow you. Oh, I haven't heard this part. The plot thickens. Yeah, it definitely thickens. Okay, so I've got like quite a few facts that have been like updated in the recent days, and I'm gonna talk about them now. So on September 19th, human remains are discovered in Teton County, Wyoming, and as the police reports, the remains are, quote, consistent with the description of Gabby Petito. FBI official Charles Jones stated, quote, full forensic identification has not been completed to confirm 100% that we found Gabby, but her family has been notified of this discovery, end quote. Wait, what's happening? What's happening? Oh my god! You guys, like, wait, IDK Bacon 53, thank you so much for the donation. And Willow the Nerd, thank you so much for the donation. Oh my god, you guys. It's awesome. Thank you so much for donating to this channel and to what I do. Okay, so as I said, on September 19th, they find the human remains. It's not officially confirmed as Gabby, but they have, you know, the description is consistent. They do inform her family. Then on September 20th, the focus is on the Laundries. So Brian's parents are questioned at their home by the FBI, and then they are taken with the FBI to to the office, to the station, and FBI agents also execute an extensive search warrant at their home for hours. And then on September 21st, a report comes back from the Teton County Coroner's Office. It is confirmed that the human remains found 2 days prior belonged to Gabby Petito. At this point, we are still waiting for the full autopsy report regarding the cause of death. However, it is stated that her death was not accidental, it was a homicide. And then on September 23rd, U.S. District County of Wyoming had officially issued an arrest warrant for Brian Laundrie, who is still missing or on the run. The base of the warrant was Brian's behavior in the days likely after Petito's death. So this is actually the new information that I got recently. It turns out that somewhere between August 30th and September 1st, when Brian returned to Florida, he used a debit card and PIN number of accounts that did not belong to him and withdrew over $1,000. So he is using not his account to take money, and this is within the window that Gabby most likely went missing or died, and especially within the window that Gabby just disappeared from social media, disappeared from contacting her family. There was no contact from her. So as of now, that is all we know about the case. We still don't have Brian. He is still on the run. So you see how Brian Laundrie needs to be found. He needs to provide some much needed context and answers. He can, it is even a case of him defending himself. It's not looking good for him to be on the run. I know he is in, as I said, enormous amount of pressure, and his mind might, his mind might just not be logical right now. He might be seeing this as the only solution, seeing this as the only way out of him from this situation. But he needs to come forth. He needs to come forward, and he needs to provide answers to not only Gabby's family, his family too, whether it was an accidental death or homicide, because it is possible, yes, her death was pronounced a homicide, but we know those cases. There are so many cases where, yeah, it was pronounced a homicide, but then it was, later in the investigation, in the trial, during the trial, it came out that it was an accident. It wasn't a premeditated death. It wasn't a premeditated murder. Sorry for mispronouncing it. Polly Bloom, hi. Oh, okay, Polly Bloom. Okay. Hi, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. They probably couldn't get into his phone, assuming that he set up a PIN or password. That's true. They probably couldn't get into his phone yet. Although I'm finding that I find it surprising, because it is the FBI. They should be able to, and it's not a international spy's phone. It's just a a normal regular person's phone. So they should be able to get into it, and I hope they will. Because there was an extensive search warrant in his house. I really hope that they will find something. They will go through his stuff. They will find some clues, maybe some clues about where he is too. Actually, there was another thing. So Gabby was using a kind of a travel app where she marks, whenever she would go somewhere, she would mark it on the map. And actually that app, this is super weird, but that app actually recently has been updated to show, and it showed that she's in Puerto Rico, I think. So it is I don't know if Brian took her phone. I didn't see if her phone was found or not, but if not, then maybe Brian took her phone and he actually, I don't know, is it possible that he was all the way there? Maybe. Like, maybe he's just gotten to, like, so far. Especially since he had that time, like, he was believed to be home, but then he had, like, 4 days. There was a window of, like, 3-4 days where he just, you know, he went out of his house on September 14th, and then on September 17th, he's reported missing, but then it's 3 days, like, he could have, I don't know, like, he could have traveled quite a long distance at the time. Especially since he was an experienced, like, hitchhiker, apparently, so that's not a problem. Like, he could have caught a ride somewhere. The parents are still silent to this day. Yeah, so they only talked, well, they didn't talk to the media. They don't talk to Gabby's family, definitely not. They were questioned. I guess they were questioned, but, you know, overall, like, it was just through their, through their lawyer. I guess they didn't say anything to the agents. They were just, you know, they were just taken in for questioning, but then most likely they just didn't say anything. So that's super suspicious. Unless it's a burner phone, in which case that changes things. That's true. Well, I don't know. It was his but do you mean his personal phone? Because that, you know, like, that is hard to believe. Like, if he left his, like, main phone, personal phone behind, that's unlikely that it's a burner phone. But then again, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen anything specific about the phone, so, you know, like, I just know that it was left behind. His phone, I mean. Okay. Right now they are broadcasting Gabby's funeral on Fox News. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, you know. It's been, so I guess the autopsy report is gonna come in any day now. I did see that there was some kind of I don't know, like, the funeral. I don't even know how to call it. Well, not celebration, obviously, but, you know, some event in memory of her, like, in her memory. Is there any evidence that he actually left the house? What if he's actually still in their house just hiding? Yeah, that's why the FBI actually, you know, as I said, like, the FBI did conduct an extensive search in their house, in Brian's house. Like, they did have a search warrant. So they took his parents out of the house, and then they conducted a search warrant to make sure that he's not in the house. He's, you know, like, or maybe they didn't find him. I don't know. Like, maybe he is in the house, but it's very unlikely because they did, you know, conduct that search. So it's likely that he wasn't there, and he is on the run. Next thing you know, he's in a country that doesn't have extradition to the United States, allowing him to get away scot-free. I mean, that ping, like the update in Gabby's travel app in Puerto Rico, that's very suspicious. But, you know, again, that's not confirmed. I just saw it, like, random, like, in one of the news articles. I don't know how true that is, again, so I don't want to, like, tell you guys that it's 100% true. Maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe it wasn't actually, like, they just heard a rumor and they decided to put it in the article. Plus, I saw recently the Laundrie family bought, like, a ton of groceries to lock down for 2 weeks. So that is suspicious. Definitely that is suspicious. But then on the other hand, the paparazzis, like, I've seen pictures from, like, in front of their house, their property, and the news are just surrounding this house, and the paparazzi are just hunting for them 24/7. So I guess it's not surprising. They might be just wanting to lock themselves in and just not deal with it because they don't want to say anything, and they just want to remain silent. They just want to speak through their lawyer. So maybe that's understandable. They just want to, you know, kind of wait, like, just sit it through. The funeral procession, you mean? Yeah, and there was like a wake, I think. Was it, like, before? Not today, not right now, but, like, I think it was, like, yesterday. Was it yesterday? There was some kind of, like, you know, a wake for, in her memory. Overall, but I'm not sure. Like, I didn't look into it that much, so I might be wrong here. Oh, I missed that part. Oh, okay, yeah. So, like, yeah, that there was a search. But, you know, if, as I said, like, he needs to step forward. He needs to come back and fill in all the gaps. because it might be, I don't know, like if he's, yeah, even if he is guilty of killing her, it might have been an accident. I don't want to, like, you know, start hanging dogs on him. Like, I don't want to just accuse him of, it looks suspicious. Yeah, it looks bad. It looks super bad. But like, come on, like, we know those cases where it's like, yeah, the person, you know, it was a crime of passion. It was maybe accidental, maybe like an argument, a heated argument, and it's just like ended tragically. And it wasn't meant to end that way. But then the quote unquote perpetrator, like, they panic and, you know, they think, okay, I'm going away for life. Like, this is what happens. I just murdered someone. But if it's, you know, it is a, you know, a little bit of a different story if it is an accidental death. And if they feel remorse, and if they, you know, want to confess, and if they, you know, like, want to tell everything. But here is just, he's just not making it better for himself. He's just not making himself look good here. So a few words about this case, like to kind of conclude, to make a conclusion. If you are in Wyoming or Florida or anywhere in the US and you have even the smallest piece of information about this case, even the tiniest bit of clue, please contact the authorities and let them know. Because even that, you know, the tiniest detail might shed a whole new light on Gabby's case and might help the investigation, might help finding Brian. So, you know, if you're out there and if you know something, just don't be afraid and just come forward. And again, as I said, like at the beginning of this stream, you know, Gabby's case has kind of overtaken the media, but it is not only the only such case happening right now. There are other cases that need urgent attention and answers. So one case is the case of Lauren Cho, nicknamed Elle, a 30-year-old New Jersey native who made their move to California just last year. She was last seen on June 28th this year and disappeared likely during her trip to Yucca Valley, where she was staying at her friend's place in Orel. Her last known location was the area of Hoopa Road and Benmar Trail in between Morongo Valley and Yucca Valley. Another case is Jelani Day, a 25-year-old graduate student at Illinois State University. I'm sorry for mispronouncing Illinois. I don't know why. So he was last seen on August 24th and was reported missing on August 25th by his family, since he has not shown up to class for the past several days before he disappeared. Unfortunately, soon a body was found near Illinois River, and it was identified as Jelani Day. So Bloomington police is still prompting people to come forward with any piece of clue in this case. So if you know anything, please contact the authorities and help them solve this case. Help them figure out what caused Jelani's death. And then the last case I came across while researching this case is the case of Daniel Robinson, a 24-year-old geologist who went missing outside Buckeye, Arizona, 3 months ago. So he was last seen on June 23rd after he had left his job site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. His Jeep, was actually found turned over in a ravine on July 29th, 4 miles from where he was last seen. Airbags in the car had deployed, and Daniel's clothes, cell phone, wallet, and keys were found inside, but no sign of Daniel himself. And the search is still ongoing. I said it before, but I truly, truly hope that Gabby's case will be that catalyst to focusing and solving other missing persons cases, other unexplained deaths. This will bring attention to many other cases that are happening, that are still ongoing right now. Wait, can you state the college again? I think I know people there. Wait, which one? Which case? I think Jelani. Jelani was a student at Illinois State University. So he was Illinois State University. And then Lauren. Wait, was it Lauren? And then we have Lauren Cho, L. And she also disappeared. She disappeared from Yucca Valley. Yeah, so Jelani Day was a student at Illinois State University. So, okay, so as I said, you know, I really hope that because this case is like prompting this discussion of inequality in news reporting about like similar cases and cases between like white people and people of color, I really hope this is gonna bring those cases to light so that, you know, this problem is gonna be corrected. And especially because those are people too, like, you know, they're behind those missing persons, behind those, you know, deceased people. There are families that need answers. There are families that need closure, and they need hope. They need hope that, you know, the case of their loved one is gonna be solved very soon. They are gonna get them back, or at least they're gonna get some answers. And as I said, you know, at the beginning of this stream, as of 2020, FBI reported to have over 89,000 active missing persons cases, 45% of which were people of color. And it is also painfully clear that a lot of those cases did not get enough coverage and enough resources to be anywhere near getting solved. And every minute counts in a missing persons case. You know, every post shared, every comment, every article, every news article, every news report, and every information counts. So if you come across a missing person, I don't know, you can do something as simple as like, if you come across a missing persons case on Twitter, like someone posted about a missing person, just retweet it, you know, just share it, because it might reach the right people. It might reach that one person who knows something. And I try to do that, like maybe not as often as I should, but I definitely encourage you guys to do that too. To, you know, to share those articles, to share, you know, even something as small as a tweet. Because as I said, like social media is a huge source of information, huge media. And it reaches every possible person like in the, you know, in the entire world. And it might just reach that one person who has information, who has an answer to a question that the family of the missing person is searching for. Yeah, so that's about it. Let me just get back to the main screen. Shit. Why? Why did I do that? Okay, I don't know why I did the starting screen. Oh, the whole missing persons cases. I know there's a guy on YouTube here that finds cars in bodies of water that might contain missing persons. Yeah, actually, like even in Gabby's case, like honestly, yeah, that, you know, that tip about, I think it was from was it from Jen and Kyle with the YouTube channel. This is actually like, that actually very like helped the police locate the van and locate the body, because they provided like exact like, you know, like the location. So people get confused because I switched to the starting channel. No, like I'm still here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I tried my best to you know, show some of the cases that are happening alongside Gabby's case, and they're, you know, like they're still very much unsolved. Two of them are just still missing persons. They haven't found anyone. They haven't found them. They haven't found even the body. And I hope they will not find the body. They will find the person, just safe and sound. But then again, we still need answers for just so many of them. But yeah, that's about it for today. Again, thank you so much for watching. Next week, we're gonna get back to my regular lineup. So next week we are covering a case from California. I am still researching cases, and I'm still taking suggestions. So if you guys have a suggestion for a case from California, just, you know, like drop it in the comments, even below this video, or in the community tab, whichever you like. And yeah, like I might choose your case, you know, like this week I'm gonna research those cases, and I'm gonna decide make a final decision on what, you know, what to talk about, like what case to talk about. You're pretty good at reporting this stuff. I mean, it makes sense considering this, what you normally do, but still, I love it. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I tried. I do know I mess up, like I stutter sometimes, and I like mess up words, mess up pronunciation. So I'm sorry, not a native English speaker here, so I might have some problems with pronunciation, but I hope it was pretty clear and like you guys could understand me pretty okay. See ya. Okay, bye Sona, thank you for the stream. No problem. Like as always, you know, every week on Saturday or Sunday, like if something happens, like I might move the stream to Sunday, but as for now, yeah, it's gonna happen. The next stream is gonna be on Saturday evening. Pacific time. Mood whiplash here. Still, thanks for this. I'm sorry. Yeah, like this is, yeah, it's, yeah, it is a sad case, and it's, as I said, it's you know, the chase, the search for Brian is still ongoing, and I hope they will find him soon. Not native, could have fooled me. Yeah, I'm not. I'm originally from Poland, so yeah, I'm not a native English language speaker. So yeah, anyway, again, if you guys have a suggestion for a case from California, please put it, like, drop it in the comments below. I'm also gonna link the, you know, the footage from Bodycam, from, you know, Gabby and Brian's kind of police pullover. But it's fine. Very good for a non-native speaker. Thank you. Thank you. I'm still working on it, but yeah, I try. As long as you guys can understand me pretty okay, and it's rather clear when I speak, that's fine. But yeah, okay, that's it. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the donation in this video, in this stream. And you know, see ya, Sona. I just found you recently on recommended and can't wait to see your streams more. Okay, awesome. I'm really happy that you found my channel and gave it a shot. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Always lock your doors, and until the next time. Bye.